Welcome to another trade of the day here at Trader TV Live. And a couple of days ago, it was meme mania, squeeze mania, whatever you wanted to call it. There was a monster run across the board. You had GameStop, AMC. At one point, even Robinhood was going. Clover. You had BlackBerry. It was all over the board, guys. Even Cost making some moves. Yesterday, a little bit more muted action. Came in today thinking it was going to be a sleeper once again. So I wasn't necessarily thinking breakouts on any of these meme names, but I did do the diligence of preparing some levels so that I was prepared in case something were to happen. And again, I always start things in a higher time frame. This time we're looking at the 15-minute chart because I'm kind of looking at some clusters from yesterday's action. And the key thing here is you get very, very choppy day yesterday. But what I was able to identify is a nice band upside and downside here. And when I got a look at this band, the first thing I saw was in the afternoon when we're doing this bit of a pullback and turnaround on GameStop, you had this tight level up here at 205, which turned into a resistance in the offer. And then you had that bottom in that move, which is right around that 202. So it was the morning low and then turned into a breakdown. So it gave me a cluster to work with. Now, why is that important? Because I didn't get this break. This is not me here telling you, yeah, I was long at 199 because I thought it was going to immediately break out off the open and then buy that dip right here at the open. So I'm not going to pretend like I had that $15 move. Clearly, that's the better trade. You have to ask yourself a question, though, right? Like, when you've missed that big trade and you still think there's going to be opportunities, because as a day trader, the volume is still going pretty well, even after it makes that move. There's going to be shots to be had. And if I don't necessarily want to be short that name, because I don't have top, when I was shorting it on a couple of days ago, it would really had to be on a bigger extended move than trying to pick a top. Didn't really see any of that. So as it comes back down, I'm starting to formulate a plan, and that's where those levels started to come in. As we looked at it, I kind of said, okay, I know it stalled out around that 205 level on the way up, but when I went back and looked at my 15-minute chart, I was able to identify that cluster, which is the only one that really stood out to me. And you ignore some of those wicks to get those bars and make some more sense. First dip buy, when it flushes into 205, was ready, locked, and loaded to go. And then I'm trying to maintain a core position if it hits the bottom. We didn't quite do that yet. But it does test right back in above VWAP at this lower high at 208. That's one scalp trade for $3. But we had two levels. And sometimes we get ourselves into trouble when buying dips if you've got two levels. One is a previous level here to the upside, but it's not the real bottom point level there. Sometimes you really want to make sure that you're not all in on that first dip buy because it'll give you a good scalp trade. But if you hang on to too many shares or all your shares, you're probably looking to gift horse in the mouth, something I say all the time, and you should really wait for that perfect price. I made that mistake on AMC yesterday because it never came to my perfect price, and I got it all in at the imperfect one. And that's why I was down on AMC yesterday. Today in GameStop, we actually wait for it to get right down into the range. It does pop down into that 202, which I did like, fails breaking to the downside, and this is where all systems go. This is me. We're good to go. Now, as a day trader, I'm going to be pretty happy to take those 3s and those 5s out. So again, trying to scalp that 3 out. This time, I'm actually holding the bulk of the position. You can see I got in twice because I liked a little bit more. I'm going to hold more of it. This is where no trade is perfect. And this is where we have to come clean and say, look, when it retook that 202 definitively, breaking that failed breakout low or breakdown low at the bottom, I got out. Now, candidly, this is a failed breakdown. And one of the reasons why I would classify it as a failed breakdown is it had no continuation through that 200 level. So therefore, it justifies a re-entry if it breaks back above your 202 and then holds, right? So once that happens, I really need to be getting back in here. Ideally, if I can get it right in this level here at 202, maybe you're taking 202 half. That would still be well within the trading parameters. Instead, candidly speaking, trading some other stocks, Sava was making moves. That was a great short. That's fine. But you've got to get back into that because it's not a true violation. The next obvious level is that 200, that round number. And when it fails to get through there, it was more of a wipeout bottom. So, look, it's fine. You're going to take some good scalp trades. But if the idea was at that better level to the downside to really hold and at least get back to that 208, if not hold for more, you got to find yourself back into those trades some ways. A lot of you guys in the live show will see me if I'm short on one of those small caps that's gapping to the upside and get stopped out at top wick, and then it immediately rejects because people taking that breakout at the top are panicking when it comes down. A lot of times it's slammed right back in. This is somewhat a version of that trade, although it just takes a little bit longer for the entire move to happen. Should have been back in, could still be sitting in some of this after taking some out at 208. Either way, you missed that first open move. It doesn't mean your work is done. If you've got levels on the pullback, there are dip buying strategies that you can utilize. They're a good way to go, especially when trading some of these meme names or squeeze names, because what goes up a lot of times will come back down, and then the buyers are going to step in because if they like it, they're going to like those levels. Let me know how you did. Love to hear how you traded the breakout, if you got that breakout. Did you get short at the top? I have no idea. Let me know in the comment section below. As always, watch the morning show and Power Hour as well at Trader TV Live, and we'll see you in the market.